Hello, Lowell here with Gamer Guide's preview of Wuchang Fallen Feathers, written by Ben Chard and adapted to video by me, and our editor, Leon Shepard. Here's what Ben thought. These days, Soulslikes are plentiful, and while that may be true, not all of them hit with the same level of quality as the trendsetters at From Software. As a big fan of Soulslikes myself, I've played my fair share of them, so when Gamer Guides was invited to an exclusive hands-on preview of Wuchang Fallen Feathers, I naturally jumped at the opportunity. Fortunately, I left the event feeling incredibly optimistic and wanted more. With an obscenely large blade and a mysterious feathery illness, we take to the era of the late Ming Dynasty to put Wuchang Fallen Feathers through its paces. Set in the land of Shu during the aforementioned end of the Ming Dynasty, you take control of the titular character, Wuchang, an amnesiac pirate who must recover her memories while dealing with the ornithopy disease she awakens with.
Where on earth is it? Feathers on your left arm. That's a sign of feathering. Most would have lost their minds by now. Yet you remain in control. Fascinating.
Reverent Temple is the location of your earliest hub where you'll meet other people who have interesting tales to share or request you to complete a task for them. Once you're ready to set off though, you're directed to Shu Temple, where you may be able to find more information on your new illness. It might sound rather simple on paper, but the characters all seem pretty interesting, and many of them task you with either finding a loved one or retrieving an item for them.
Mind if I ask why you came all the way here? Have you heard the rumors about the Shu Sanctum? They say the priests there have deep knowledge of medicine. Apparently, they've hidden all sorts of strange things upstairs. Not that any of that interests me. All I care about is finding medicine to heal my brother. He was bitten by the man-eating monster in town, and fell severely ill soon after. But who knew there'd be soldiers guarding the place? They tossed me out before I could even explain myself. They stand there like smug watchdogs, blocking anyone from getting close. Ma'am, since I told you about the rumors, could you possibly go up there and grab some elixirs for me?
We've been assured by the publisher that Wuchang Fallen Feathers features many choices and endings, and we're betting a lot of that is tied to the various tasks you can complete. Fortunately, the game will display an icon on the travel menu at shrines that informs you if there is an update to a character in a specific location. Wuchang Fallen Feathers has a massive amount of build variety to it, and you can quickly nail down your playstyle from all the tools the game gives you. There are 5 different weapon types: longsword, one-handed swords, spears, duels, and heavy weapons, and you can equip 2 different weapons at once. Once you've acquired at least one Skyborn Might Charge, more on this later, you can perform a sheath and weapon change attack that allows you to quickly change between them in devastating style. Each weapon has its own set of skills to unlock from the massive skill tree, and all favor a different playstyle. I was a particular fan of the one-handed sword due to an early skill that allowed me to accrue Skyborn Might Charges outside of battle, allowing me to use magic at will. The weapons all have a great feeling to them too, so you'll often find yourself switching between them just to see how they play. Every individual weapon comes with both a skill and discipline, and these are enhanced when you have Skyborn Might Charges. The initial longsword that Wuchang starts with, the Cloud Frost's Edge, comes with a dash strike skill and a sword counter discipline, and this is just the beginning of how unique weapons can be. Although by nature you can only dodge in combat, some weapons give you the ability to time counters and deflections too. You'll also gain access to magic, of which you can equip up to 4 spells at once. You usually get these as rewards for defeating the various bosses you encounter, and to use them, you'll need to use your Skyborn Might Charges, which, by default, you earn by dodging at the last second and thus increasing the risk versus reward gameplay. In the limited time I played, magic seemed very strong, and when paired with a one-handed sword and the skill mentioned above, I was able to use it frequently. These are just some of the tools you'll have available to you as you plan your playstyle in Wuchang Fallen Feathers. Beyond these, you'll be able to temper your weapons with various elemental effects, a massive number of consumables, benedictions, think like gem sockets for your weapons, and grant passive effects, and a whole host of different armor sets that alter your defense against the many elements and ailments you'll encounter. Fortunately, you can respec your skills at any point whenever you're at a shrine, encouraging experimentation. Wuchang Fallen Feathers' world is interconnected, packed full of shortcuts and secrets, and seeing as there are many items to locate, this helps to keep your exploration feeling rewarding. You'll also have a degree of freedom in how you approach it all. While there are specific plot points you must complete to progress through the adventure, you can do some things out of sequence. For example, during our hands-on, I went a completely different direction than the intended path and ended up fighting an optional boss a lot earlier. Despite being challenging, I took it down and got my hands on a powerful spell that I then used against the next story boss to make it easier. It's these intricacies that make exploring the world of Wuchang exciting, even if it's dangerous, and you can find yourself dying at any moment. Indeed, one of my few complaints in the build that I played is what seemed like long periods of exploration between shrines, even if there are lots of shortcuts that you can open up. You're rewarded for taking the time to fully explore these areas too, as you'll often find somebody who needs some assistance. An optional path that leads to lucrative upgrades, or even special merchants that can trade you powerful weapons. Despite the lack of a map, the compass does help a little, found at the bottom right of your screen. A yellow arrow will point you the way to a nearby person you have a quest update with, while a red arrow will point you toward a nearby shrine you have yet to activate. When it comes to a Souls-like, however, one of the most important questions is the bosses themselves, which usually make up a large portion of your playtime. During our session, I got to fight 3 bosses in the earlier portion of the game, and we came out of all of them with high praise. The first 3 were all battles against humans who were not as fortunate as Wuchang and succumbed to the illness, being transformed into grotesque monstrosities. As has become the norm by now, you'll fight these bosses usually over 2 phases, and every single one of them was agile, meaning you'll need to be on top of your dodging game if you want to take them down. Perhaps the highlight of them all, however, was the boss near the end of the first chapter, a human-based battle. These are often my favorite types of battles in Souls-likes, and it's simple to say I was a big fan of how it played out in Wuchang Fallen Feathers. The skill set you have available to you in these battles makes them a brilliant exchange of blows and last-second dodges that really do test your understanding of the combat system. One little nitpick I had with these bosses is that due to the relentless nature of them, it can be difficult to find moments to heal yourself, often causing me to lose an encounter while still having the majority of my flasks available to use. Once it clicks though, the boss battles are beautiful dances of carnage that really bring out the best in any build you may have created to that point. And what's more, you're often rewarded with new spells or equipment upon your victory. One such boss I was able to kill quickly after working out that a particular spell I had was effective against it. I then leaned into that playstyle to take it down without too much fuss. I only had access to a small slice of Wuchang Fallen Feathers, but I was already sold on what I played, and it was refreshing to play a Souls-like that gave me so much flexibility on how to approach every combat encounter. If Wuchang can live up to the early hours and nail the choices and endings that we've been assured of, we could be looking at something very special here. And yeah, that's Ben Chard's preview of Wuchang Fallen Feathers. What did you think? Let us know in the comments below, and maybe like and subscribe if you like gamer guides here doing preview videos.